Hi guys, welcome to Tea with Mike, episode number 32. Joining me today is Gabe. Welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, it's good to be here. It's going to be a fun little episode.
Awesome. So today's tea fact of the day is tea is China's oldest exported product, and that comes from ChinaHighlights.com. So again, welcome to the show. How's the day going?
It's going great, and we got lots to do today. I have an upcoming show, so we have to go do it. We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. We're gonna go print off posters and slap them all around town. So we're gonna do it that way too. We have the social media done, but we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way to get the clientele that's not on the social media as well. Maybe they're just walking into the grocery store or something and they see like that, then they're gonna come out to the show.
Awesome, man. What's in that fantastic Star Wars mug?
My Kylo Ren mug's the only way I drink tea, and I think I just have Earl Grey in it. And I love my mug because I don't know if you can tell on the Skype, this thing's huge. It's like the size of 2 cups, so.
It does look huge, you can tell, yes.
Definitely like it for my tea because it gives me a lot of it, so.
Nice, man. So how often do you drink tea?
Oh, a lot. Being a singer, a lot. Before I shoot videos, anytime, I can bet you I slammed a tea that had a bunch of honey and lemon in it. Before I do a show, I probably have slammed a mug of tea with honey and lemon in it, and then I'll have a travel mug that's got tea in it that's honey and lemon. For while I'm singing at the show, if I have a halftime there, I have more tea. So I use tea a lot in my music career because of how good it is for your throat.
That's a great segue into you telling the Tea with Mike audience a little bit about you. Yeah,
it's a big part of my career. Tea is definitely a huge part, especially in this career when you get sick. You desperately push everything. You have meds, you have tea, you have this, you have that. You're trying to shake it as quick as you can. So tea is 100% a huge factor in my career. Like without it, it'd be tough because it does heal your voice quite a bit. So I like to have tea around a lot.
So do you want to tell everybody what you do, all about you and your cool background?
Of course. So I was raised like Southern country ways, and my father and my other family members decided like they wanted me to pursue music at a young age, so they started trying to teach me really young, and it instead of like it sounding like a negative thing, I liked it, so it was good. It was a nice thing for me to like be forced upon music at a young age because I liked it, so it didn't bother me. And then aside from that, like I just signed with Evo King, and as far as like game plan is what I do for that is basically we're gonna end up doing like everything that somebody mainstream does, but we're doing it at a level like my level. So of course I'm not gonna be selling out stadiums because I'm not quite there yet. Selling at a bar, that is very possible. Especially with tickets being like $10, $20 a ticket, that's very possible to sell at a bar. And then you build a fan base that always comes to these places selling you out. And we're going to be doing everything that they do at a mainstream level. So yes, my own music will be recorded and released to all platforms, not just SoundCloud, like iTunes, Spotify, you name it, everything like that. We will shoot music videos, and as far as like performing at those shows, trying to sell them out and everything like that, we will also be selling merch and stuff. So just really trying to develop a fan base to go mainstream is what about all me. I sing and I play the guitar, but I'm also very versatile. Like I have a few tracks already with other artists I'm collaborating on where I'm singing R&B, but I'm still a country singer. So like I'm very versatile. And as far as that goes, that's about all I do right now. I'm full-time pursuing this, trying to make it. So Like I have a lot of work today. I'm going around to all the live music vendors in Airdrie and going old fashioned, and I'm gonna ask the managers who books the live music here and wait for them to be there. Like if they say they're gonna be there at 2, then I'm gonna say I'll be back, because I want to hand them one of like these and tell them to contact Natasha, my manager, and book me in there, because now it's a job. So I'm gonna go basically knocking door to door today after this call to tell them to let me play there and pay me. So it's a lot of work. A lot of people think it's like when you change something from a hobby into a career. Like I have a few friends that want to join me in what I'm doing, and I always tell them like, I'll put you through a trial. I'll show you what it's like, and then you tell me if you want to do it. Because we're not even at a professional level, and it's like 14-hour days. So I just want to see if once you put that 14 hours of work where it's no longer just fun and it's work in and stuff, and you're pushing to grow yourself and everything like that, I want to see if you're so excited about music then. I want to see if it's still something you want to do, because everybody that is talking to me, they're just doing open mics or tiny little shows, and they're like, I want to do music full time. And I'm like, okay, man, slow down. Like, look into what you're saying, because it's a lot of work, and they don't believe you. They don't think it's a lot of work. And I'm like, no, it's a lot of work, dude. It's a lot of, like, aside from the work of music, it's a lot of work to your body too. You got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of your throat. You got to take care of your voice. You got to go to bed at a decent time so you don't look like crap in your face, so people are like, look at, he looks like crap. Like, you know what I mean? You got to be looking nice. You can't have bags under your eyes, and you can't have just like, you got to take care of your body too. So that's where it's all, you are representing a brand that's your name and what you're trying to do. It's your business. It's your logo, it's your voice, it's your brand, it's your name. That's how you make money. So if you don't take care of that, it's like you're not taking care of your company. So it's a lot of work outside of just singing and advertising, stuff like that. There's the self-care area and all that. It's a lot of work. That's why I say it's like 14-hour days. So when I tell my friends that are asking, they're like, you're blowing up, man, I want to join you and stuff. And I'm like, well, hang on. Let me show you a little bit, and then you tell me if you want to join me.
Awesome, dude. So growing up, who would you say was some of the biggest music influences in your life? Who are your favorite artists? Who do you, that sort of area?
So I was very fortunate to learn music at a young age. So a thing that I often come across is when I have the younger generation listening to the music nowadays, which I think is absolute crap. So, and they listen to these songs, and what I hear and what they follow is they have no respect. There was no skill in the making of those songs. They bought a beat and they pushed a keyboard, and they said stupid stuff and they sold it, and people follow it. I like to go back to when you can hear the crackling on the record, and even the little mistakes, or the slide of the fingers up the guitar frets, they like slide up and you can hear it on the record, like they're and I like to hear real talented musicians playing on that track, so that when I listen to how hard it is what they're doing, I give them such respect. So I go back a long ways. Big influences for me are literally like Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, like those two guys. The way Johnny Cash played fast and like sharp and all that, I like to mimic that. The way Elvis sang, like upbeat, like he liked to kind of party and get you into it, I like to do that. Is Garth Brooks for country, amazing. Listen to his tracks, like amazing. So I like to follow all those like 90s, kind of even older than that. Like I go back to the 50s, 60s stuff. I like to really hear the talent in music, and I like to hear how, like, I can tell when I hear those things, they spent blood, sweat, and tears in the studio making that. They practiced hours beforehand. The lead guitarist has been practicing for days and days and days and days to get that solo perfectly on the record. That's the kind of music I listen to and what inspired me. Not where nowadays it's just I can't believe we even market what is out nowadays. I can't believe it.
Also, man. So as you kind of mentioned, you love songwriting. How do you go about the process of songwriting when you're looking for inspiration to create new content and work?
So songwriting, I get it's part of my business. My part of me is I offer songwriting because I've been trained down in Nashville and stuff how to do it, and I practice it quite a bit. As far as songwriting goes, it's very different all around all the time. Sometimes I sit down and pick a topic and I build a backstory to it and I put myself in those shoes and I write a song about it. Other times I'm out in public and hear something and I say, whoa, write that down. And like I go back home and it's already built. You know what I mean? It just kind of, I heard it and it came to me and it's already built and I start building around that. Other than that, I sit down and I plan it. So it's always wishy-washy. There's no set in stone how I do it. It's sometimes I hear a little kid say something and my antennas go off. I'm like, I need to write that down right now because that was a really good thing that he just said and he doesn't even know it. Because, sometimes that's the way it is. So it's never set in stone that I'm going to be writing it down and planning it the whole way. Sometimes I'm sitting there watching a movie and a hook pops in my head that's rhyming and I'm like, whoa, I better write that down.
That's mad.
So, and it's never, everything, sometimes I write a song and it takes months. I just have the hook and it's sitting there on my dresser and I don't know what else to put to it. And I'll let it sit. There's no time limit. And I'll start working on a new song. Because if I can finish the other song, then I'll do it. And if the old song's still sitting there waiting to get finished, there's no rush because one day I'll come to it and I'll have something. But when you rush it, that's when you get like junk material that no one wanted to listen to. So it takes a while to write songs and I don't like to rush them and I like to put real soul and truth into them. So I hope that when people listen to my songs, if they choose to, they feel it too. I hope that they feel the soul I put into it and the truth and the effort and all that stuff into it. If I do, then I've set out what I've set out to do. I've done what I've set out to do. If they're listening to me and feeling those things.
Awesome, man. So, are there any like challenges to songwriting, or is it more, or do you feel it's more just going with what's authentic and natural, as you were kind of just describing?
There's big challenges. So how can I break it down? The first line is going to be, it always has to be in sync with each other. Now, what I mean is your first line can't be 7 syllables and your second line be 15. You understand? They got to match. If it's 7, it's got to be 7. Or it's got to be like 8 and 9. They got to be close. Or 6 or something, so that the reader doesn't, or the listener doesn't get thrown off. They don't hear 7 syllables and a rhyme, and then the next line is 15. They're like, whoa, I don't like this. They like to stay where you started it. So if you start something at like, and I just pick 7. Everybody can use different syllables. You could use 15, 15, 15, 15. It's your choice. I don't care. But if you set off on that first one with a rhyme and your second one has to rhyme and it's got to be 7 syllables, you got to find like a phrase that's 7 syllables that sounds good and feels real and gets them and rhymes with only 7 syllables. So that's the hardest part. You're sitting there trying to figure them out and counting them like, oh, is this it? No, it doesn't sound. Oh, this sells them. Yeah, I like this. Like, it takes a while to match it all up. And it's got to, where I'm trying to go there is it's not always got to be, because as soon as somebody listens to it, they're going to be like, no, I don't like this. He changed up way too much. I like routine. I like the verse to be routine, and then I like the chorus to be routine. That's a different routine. And then I like the verse to be another routine, and I like the chorus to change up in a different routine again, and maybe throw me a bridge that's a different routine. Like, they like it all in sections of routines. You can't just like change it all to. So that's the hardest part about songwriting, is getting it in that same routine.
Okay, and then so when it comes to like length of song, do you have a preference? Do you prefer to write shorter songs or longer songs?
Situation that I'm going to give you the honest truth on. So yes, the standard song you want to do is 3 minutes. 3 to 4 minutes. That's what radio will play. That's what people don't get bored of. However, you get to a point in your life where you can do an 11-minute song and no one has a problem with it. Because it's like when you get to the point where you're like Def Leppard, you're allowed to do a Stairway to Heaven that's like 18 minutes long because people will listen to it because you're Def Leppard. As you're starting up, you gotta be like 3-minute songs, 4-minute songs. Until you develop that like status that you're a legend or something, that's when you're doing 11-minute songs, stuff like that, or like 8-minute songs and stuff. Other than that, the radio won't spin it because they don't care about you enough. They only want to get you on as quick as they can, and like they play top 40 songs. So if they're playing a top 40 song on a radio station and one of your songs is 11 minutes long, they can't play you. They got to leave room for other people. So, and even if they like, even with Def Leppard's like 11-minute songs and other rock bands songs like that, they cut them too. They make them able to be played on radio. They put them down to like 6 minutes, 5 minutes. They still leave it a long song, but they cut it. But if you see them do it live or something, they do it for like 18, 20 minutes long. And people will sit there and listen to them because they are who they are. So until you're at that level, and I'm not saying once you get to that level, that's the only kind of song you can do. I'm just saying those guys will still be doing 3-4-minute songs at that level. But if they decide to do a 4-minute or 11-minute song, they can get away.
Probably gonna listen.
They can get away with it, but they can go back to their 3 to 4-minute songs. And then if they want to bust out another 8-minute song, no one's gonna second look them. No one's gonna care. They're just gonna be like, "Yep, they're doing their thing, and we like it." So, as far as starting up, and as far as standard songs for radio, 3-4 minutes.
Awesome, man. And so over the next kind of like couple of years moving forward, what are some of your goals kind of around music? What do you want to get? What do you want to get?
Okay, so this is the part where people hate when I talk. Because this is where I like to say people like to watch and hate me, and then they end up copying me or something. And I'm like, well, what the hell? You copied me after you said you didn't like what I said and stuff. So in the next few years, I want to be a top 40 artist. I do want to be being played on radios that are top 40 radios only. And I do want to be like to the point where I'm opening for a big act at stadiums. So whoever that might be, maybe they're playing at the Saddle Dome. I want to be opening for them and be on tour with them. So when they go to Edmonton, I open for them too. So I definitely, in the next few years, I want to take it mainstream. So I'm hoping my music kicks off. I'm hoping I can build a fan base, because that's the only way this happens. There is no pay to play when you get to that level. You know, you can't pay to be an opener. No, because I could set up a show. I could buy out the Saddle Dome right now, and I could put a show there. But who's going to show up?
Yeah.
I have no fans. Not big enough for that Saddle Dome yet. I have fans, but not 50,000 for the Saddle Dome or something like that, you know? It's not that big, but like I can't fill that right now. So I need to build a fan base. And then once I have that, I can open for bigger acts. So that's where I'm saying there is no pay to play. Even if I paid to be the opener act, no one's going to care about me. They're not going to want to listen to me until they're my fans. And then that's when I can fit those shoes perfectly. So that's the goal. The goal is to get to that level where I can be opening for bigger acts than me and growing my career, and my music is selling and playing on radios, and I'm kind of just like kicking back knowing that it's happening, and in time I will have a number one. That's on my bucket list. I want and all day long posting and stuff, and all about the music and a career and being so dedicated. I like to just turn it off for a day and go to being like just spend time with my family and just enjoy them, and then go back to work.
Awesome, man. How's that tea going?
Oh, it's delicious because I put a bunch of honey in it because I do believe I have to shoot a YouTube video today that I'm going to post on Friday. So I'm starting the voice care right now. And my girlfriend also just spent, like, as you mentioned it, she probably just spent about $250 on me. That's all like immunity boosters, throat care, like this and that, clean your system out. It's all tea that like just helps your throat and keeps you feeling good. So she just bought that. So like it's funny enough that we're talking about the tea and stuff because that's on the way of like all this stuff that's gonna be tea that's gonna keep my voice good and care for me and all that. So I will be continuing to drink tea after this because I'll have no choice. She'll be putting it down my throat. So,
awesome, man.
Yeah, so I remember too my journey hasn't always been easy, and that's one of the biggest things that I live by and everything like that. I used to get laughed at. People used to think I couldn't sing, I couldn't play. You know how many times I literally heard he's a waste of time. He is a waste of time. He can't take criticism. He can't be coached. He's a waste of time. Don't sign him. Don't do this. And I was just like, I had a few of my friends and a few of my like fans, we'll call them because they're friend fans, that were just like, no, dude, you're really stellar. And like, those people are just idiots. They don't really know what you can do. So I just kept pushing. I kept pushing. I kept pushing. And I wasn't always as good as, like, I wasn't always amazing at anything. Like, I was pretty bad when I started, like, terrible. So when I got to the level where I became a good singer and a good guitar player that I could make it a career,
yeah,
it took a long time. And to get there, a lot of people were giving me a lot of hard times, grief and everything, just almost in a bullying way, laughing way. They didn't believe in me. And the next thing you know, things started happening and they were like, oh, wow, okay, now we support him. So it was kind of like until I started to make some progress, no one really cared.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. And I battled that for a long time until I started to get some grip and make some traction. When I got back, when I got sent down to Nashville, that was some serious traction. People were like, whoa, what the heck? And then when I came back, it was serious traction then because things started really happening for you, as you see on my social medias. Things have been happening for me. Until those, no one cared. No one listened to me. No one believed in me. And then soon as like that started kicking around, the fans.
How did you get sent to Nashville?
So I'm gonna explain it in this way because it's a toughy situation. I had these beautiful ladies that went door to door, these old ladies, and they walked around and they asked for money basically to sponsor to send this kid to Nashville. Those ladies did that for like months, and I was with a different company at that time, but I solemnly believe that the runner of that company did not send me to Nashville, and those sweet ladies that went door to door and tried to get sponsors, they sent me to Nashville. So I give them full credit of sending me to Nashville, not the guy that ran the company. So I give those two like beautiful, sweet ladies that went around Airdrie and Calgary and knocked door to door companies with a pamphlet and of information and stuff, ask them for money to send me to Nashville. So those ladies get full credit of sending me to Nashville, and they know who they are. They'll watch this. The guy that ran that old company, he don't get nothing. The way he treated me, nah, he doesn't get nothing. He didn't send me to Nashville. Those ladies did. So that's how I ended up going to Nashville. I just had people that believed in me like that. They wanted to see me succeed. And they still are watching my stuff, and they still want to see me succeed. And like without the people like that were so devoted to you, things don't happen. And once I got back and things started happening, that's when I want to say some of my friends on like social medias and stuff, they started changing into fans themselves. Not I didn't put them there. What I always tell them is when they come to me and try to give me like huge rewards and stuff, I'm like, dude, I bleed like you too. Don't try to treat me like I'm anything special. You have a job, I have a job.
Yeah.
Okay. This is my job, and this is what you're seeing is my job's going success. Like, it's doing good. Imagine me as just another business that's getting a good deal pitch or something like that, and they're being successful because they just landed an awesome deal. This is my job. That's what I do. Don't treat me like I'm some kind of god or something like that, or just something weird like that. Just don't treat me like I'm above you. Treat me like you did before. I believe in you, and it's just a job. It's what I do. I don't like when I have my old homies messaging me and like they're trying to like praise me. I'm like, dude, stop. Like, it's my job. I'm just like you still. I'm still the same person that we hung out with together and everything like that. This is just a job. So I don't actually really like those comments that praise me up because I don't like to think I'm that much more than people. I like to think I'm just like everyone else, but this is just my job.
Awesome, dude. Got any questions for me? Closing thoughts, words? Ask for people. You could take it any way you want.
For you,
I'm pretty flexible.
I'd like to be back on the show.
Okay.
We could do something like that when some big news happens or something like that. Maybe when I release some music onto iTunes and Spotify, we'll hop back on your show and we'll talk about it. I'll give a little insider story of the song. What's it about? What's everything about? So if people really want to know what I wrote those songs about and stuff like that, it'll be on your thing.
Let's do it, man.
It'll be on your Seat with Mike. So that I'd like to be back and do something like that. So you'll have a little bit of an insider thing. If people are looking to what I wrote about these songs, it'll only be on your channel. So
let's totally do it, dude. Or we could do some social media lives, and you could whip out the guitar.
Totally would do that. Yeah, we have a bunch of equipment too, so we'll have to meet in person.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
You're probably
in Calgary, right? Calgary.
I'm in Airdrie, but I can drive to Calgary. I do drive. So we have like a shotgun shell mic. You know what those are? It's literally the size of a shotgun shell, and they're really awesome. But they plug into computers too and stuff. So if we were gonna bring out the guitar, we'd have to meet in person, and we'd bring all our equipment. I have like lights, and I have the mics and stuff, so that if I do bring my guitar out on your channel, it's not like terrible quality. It'll be nice.
Yeah, sure. Gotta make it worth it.
Yeah, it'll make it worth it. So that's what we'll do. I wouldn't mind doing that at all. I'll like as a song gets released, I'll play it live on your channel.
That's a deal.
And talk about it. Yeah, I'll talk about it. I'll play it live. I'll give the backstory, and yeah, it'll be exclusive to Tea with Mike.
Wicked, man. That's awesome. All right, guys. This was Tea with Mike, episode 32. This was Gabe. Make sure you stay tuned in the future, because as you just heard, we're going to do some stuff in the future. Thanks again, man, for being on.
Yeah, see you later, guys. We'll be back again.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.